Very good evening and welcome to Glamour Live. I am Molife Kumona, the online editor for Glamour Magazine South Africa. And today we are with our May June cover star, um, musician, um, television personality, businesswoman Boity Thulo, who will be joining us, and we're going to be chatting everything, our current cover, as well as all the cool things that are happening with Boity. Boity will be joining us just now, and we can start. Let's have a great chat. Your queen is coming through, yes. We're just connecting with Boity. Hey.
Hey, can you see me?
How? Yes, I can see you clearly. How are you doing? Can you
I'm
see me?
awesome. Yes, I can see you as well. Nice lighting.
Cool, cool. Thank you, thank you. You should see what I do here for the lights.
I can imagine.
Is it? How are you doing? How is 30? What is it? Day 38, I think,
Ooh,
of the
day
lockdown. How's that
500,
going?
basically. It's fine. It's as good as it can be. Still making the most
Mhm.
out of it. Tired of making banana bread. I'm one of those people. And um, I don't know. I think I'm starting to feel it now. I think
Mhm,
it's
mhm.
yeah. The whole time I've been taking it easy, like okay, I'm enjoying the rest, getting to relax, etc. But now I'm definitely starting to feel it, and I'm getting a tad bit anxious. So
Mm.
I don't know how everyone else is feeling, but that's how I'm feeling right now.
I think everyone feels that. How do you deal with it when you go to the shops though? Because I was at the shops today. It just feels like a movie. Like everyone has masks. It's weird. How do you
Dude,
deal with it?
it's wild, and every time I see it, it never gets normal. I know. I mean, I know it's
Mm,
going to be a
mm.
new norm, but it's so weird because we always used to. Well, personally, I always used to think it's so strange when I would see um like Chinese people or wherever when they're wearing their masks.
Yes.
I'd always feel like that's so weird. What are they? Why are they doing that? But
Mm,
now
mm.
it's become our norm, and it's crazy. I'm not getting used to it, but I mean, I have to. We don't have a choice.
Yeah,
But
we
it's
don't
very
have a
interesting.
choice.
It does feel like a movie, and yeah, that's the only way to explain it. It feels like one weird long movie. It's very
I
strange.
totally agree with you.
Yeah.
And mentally, how are you keeping your mind okay mentally? Because I know a lot of people struggle with anxiety now, panic attacks, some depression. How are you? What are
Yeah.
you doing to make sure you don't
I think
suffer from that? Or
yeah, I think I'm grateful for the fact that I'm with my mom at least, Um, I mean, as much as one might think, oh, it would be cool to be alone if you're with you. Like, obviously, too much of something is it can be, very
mm,
stressful.
mm,
So I can imagine that people who are completely alone, maybe at first they were appreciating their time alone
yeah,
to themselves, etc. But too much of that can be slightly
yes,
detrimental to your mental health. But then also being stuck in a space with a certain amount of people for a long time as well can be frustrating.
yeah,
So it's tricky trying to balance it. But obviously my mom and I have a great relationship. We know our spaces within the house. We both know how to not be in each other's space. So it's great. But
yeah,
also it's great to also have someone there. So I'm
mm,
appreciating it. I've got my little doggies that don't
yeah.
give me any space at all. But yeah, I'm okay. And I think
Mm,
if there is any form of anxiety, um, to a
mm,
certain extent, social media does help a lot. It does help to get your mind off of things,
mhm.
in as much as
That's
it
true,
can
actually.
distract you too much. But I think it does help to
Mm,
get your mind off things and to also get a lot of people's point of views and to see that you're not alone in terms of what we're all going through. Yeah.
mm, mm. So you turned 30 last week.
I
Happy
did.
belated birthday. Happy
Thank you.
belated birthday. How do you feel? How does it feel turning 30? I mean, does it feel different? How does it feel for you? Because I know a lot of people, it's a big age and
Mm.
everyone's like looking forward to it. How does it feel for you?
Um, I'm not sure how it feels as yet. I feel like I'm still getting
Mm-hmm.
into it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
like I haven't, to be honest, the other day actually I tweeted feeling the shift. I was just feeling
Mm-hmm.
something, and obviously it
Mm-hmm.
could be many things. It could be the shift of the universe, could be the shift because of the virus, it could be the shift of anything. But
Yeah.
I think I aligned
Mm-hmm.
it with I, yeah, I think it might be a shift that is in alignment with turning 30. I don't know, I'm not sure, but
Mm-hmm.
it feels nice. That's the only word I can use. It feels safe. It feels like I feel a certain kind of assurance for some reason. So it feels good, but it's an age that I was always looking forward to. You know, I know a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, you're 30. Are you scared? Are you worried? I was like, no, I'm excited. I'm glad. I've never really had that thing of, I don't want to turn this age. And, you know, I've never been embarrassed or weird about, you know, how old I'm getting or becoming, or how much wiser I'm becoming. So I'm happy. I'm good.
Is it? And were you one of those people who said, by the time I'm 30, I would like to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? And have you done some of those things? Were you one of those people?
Thank God I wasn't. I've never been those people. I've never been like, at 20, I must do this, at 25, at 30. I've never been, because I think I would be very stressed out right now. Can you imagine? If you had like serious plans for, you know, a certain age, and then you have this virus that's like putting everything on a halt. So I think I'm grateful that I've never been that person who puts that kind of pressure, because obviously I'm one person who knows very well that anything can happen. The universe can switch up at any given moment. So it's very tricky to put all your eggs in one not necessarily put your eggs in one basket, but really just set your own vision and your own goal, and say that's the only one you're sticking to. I feel like that can kind of deter you, or you could be blocking, you know, some other things that were supposed to be happening for you. So that's how I've always believed life is. You know, you can have something that you're hopeful for, but you don't hold on to it as the be all and end all, because obviously, like I said, the universe, God, ancestors, they can surprise you with so much more than what you can see for yourself. So I'm always open for more. Yeah.
Cool. And what would you say you're most proud of right now? So if you could choose 3 things, and I know you've done quite a bit, you've got a beautiful career. What 3 things could you choose to say, you know what, you're doing pretty good? If you were to tell yourself, you just sit Boity here and go like, hey, these 3 things I'm exceptionally proud of.
One, taking the leap of faith into my music journey. I think that has been the most gratifying thing, because it has given me so much more in return. You know, I think that trusting myself I've received so much reward for that. So I'm really grateful I did that, and I'm really proud of myself for maintaining and keeping it moving. Number 2, that's very difficult. I don't know.
No, it's okay.
Oh, I'm proud of the fact that I'm now fully immersing myself into being a proper like cook. Like I'm cooking and I'm enjoying it. I know it's such a weird thing, but it's just something that I've never done, and I've always hated it, and I didn't know why. And now suddenly I'm enjoying it, and it feels like a new lease on life. I feel like a better person. You know, I don't know how, and I don't know how those link, but having spent so much time in the kitchen and creating all of these meals and trusting myself and enjoying them, I don't know, it's made me feel like a better person. I don't know why. It doesn't even matter. I don't know, but I'm proud of myself. And then thirdly, I'm proud of being on the Glamour magazine cover. God damn it, that's huge.
I was about to actually ask about
Seriously,
that.
that is ridiculous. That's like, it was definitely on my what do you call it? The vision board.
Vision
Definitely
board,
on my
and
vision board.
bucket list, yeah.
Bucket list, vision board, whatever, but it was on my vision board, and it's something I've been wanting for probably the past 3 years. And I'm I say 3 years because I knew that the other years I wasn't ready to grace a Glamour cover. Personally, I knew that I wasn't ready. But yeah, for the past 3 years, I've been like, okay, that's the one. I'm putting it out there, and it's happened, and I'm so grateful. And it happened at the right time. Yeah.
Yes. And for people who are watching this, who obviously a lot of us were not there at the shoot, how was the shoot like? What was the set? If you could tell us just a snippet of what that was like, because we are seeing the final product, which is exceptional. How was the shoot like?
Firstly, the shoot was fantastic because everyone I was working with was amazing. From Nick, the lady who did my hair, to Jason, and working with Steve more so. Steve, funny enough, I felt like it was like a full circle moment, because Steve, the photographer, shot my legit campaign. You know, when I did the legit ex Boity campaign.
Wow.
So that's the last time I actually shot and saw him. You know, so it was just incredible for him to be shooting another incredible milestone. You know, so I don't know what he'll be shooting next, but I'm assuming it's going to be really incredible because every time I shoot with him, it's something really amazing. So seeing Steve and the team, I obviously felt very comfortable because I trust Steve. He's a gift. He's just incredible. And also the fact that everyone on the team was allowing me the space to kind of be collaborative in terms of the looks and whatnot. So, you know, it wasn't necessarily like you get on set and it's like, Boity, this is what you're wearing and end of story. Because normally I'm a very understanding person. Like when people are like, okay, this is what you're wearing, I'm always just like, fine. I mean, it is what it is. This is the vision and this is what you guys want. So let's go with it. But it was great that Jason and everyone was just like, okay, what do you feel like? Do you like this? Do you want to add something else? And I'd be like, okay, let's put this together instead of this. And you know, also the hair was like wild, but I was really excited because I have never looked like that. And for me, it's always exciting to look different to what I've always looked like. So it was perfect. I enjoyed it.
Cool. It looks amazing. It looks amazing. The looks are just like unheard of.
Bruh,
Perfect.
I look like some futuristic African,
I know,
whatever, Odyssey vibes. It's amazing.
That green on the cover, wow.
Right?
That green on the cover, it's like gold, basically like money.
Right? That's exactly what I look like.
For someone who's money. So for the people who are watching this, I'm at home, I'm watching this. Why should I buy the magazine? What can we get in terms of Boity Day? Some snippets that you can share with us.
Well, I think I share a lot of my story. I share a lot of I give a lot of insight in terms of, because people are always asking, how do you own your throne? And I feel like I give some insight on that. And it's just a very fun but also personal interview. And I do feel like people will get a lot of inspo from reading up on it, but also it just looks damn good. So you know, it's one of those, sometimes I buy magazines because the cover looks fantastic. And even if I never open it, I just love the fact that the cover looks good and it looks good in my space and in my house. So if you don't want to read it, I think it looks good enough to just sit on your coffee table. I think it's that good. So yeah.
And speaking of own your throne, where did that phrase come from? Can you just tell us where that phrase comes from and what does it mean to you and to other people who might be following you and also want to own their throne?
Yeah. So the term own your throne came during it was a heartbreak kind of also self-doubt moment. So it's funny because I created the phrase to try and convince myself that I am a queen, because it was a time when I was probably at the lowest of low in terms of how I saw myself, in terms of self-value, self-confidence. It like I was depleted off of those qualities, and I felt like I needed to create something that's going to be some form of a reminder to get back to me and to get back to loving me. So I was just like, okay, what are you? What do you want to be? You know, you want to be, you are royalty, you want to be a queen, etc. And you also don't want to feel like you're stealing someone's phrase, or do you know what I'm saying? Like, I know in our industry especially, we get boxed into certain spaces and certain things, and you are made to believe that there's only one person who can be a certain thing. So for me, I came up with the phrase and I was like, you know what, I'm not going to say I am this or I am that. I'm just going to use this phrase, own your throne. It's mine. And it also was a message of everyone has their own, you know, so everyone has a throne. We don't have to chase a crown, you know, we don't have to push anyone off in order to feel royal or to feel fantastic or to feel good. So yeah, I think how it started was it was from a dark place actually, and it was for me to kind of push myself and convince myself that I am worthy and I am royal and I'm beautiful and this and that and all the qualities and traits of a queen. And more than anything, it was also to make sure that people understand that we all have our own thrones. And when we do sit around a table, we all come with our thrones to a table, you know? So you don't have to fight for a throne. You already have yours. The only thing you should do is just literally slay on your throne in your own lane. And I think that was the main thing of On Your Throne. And it's turned into something really incredible. It's wild. Yeah.
And it says, and your reality shows also rolled into your reality show. How was it like filming that? How was it like filming the reality show? Was it what you thought it would be when you were inside, or was it like, hey, actually, maybe? How was that like?
It had its moments, you know. It was good, and it had also its moments of, I really don't want to do this anymore, you know. And I think that's normal. You have your off days and you have your days where you're like, okay, I'm being creative, let's do this, etc. But all in all, I think the experience of season 1 for me was a learning curve. And so I have a better idea of what to give of myself, you know, by God's grace, when season 2 comes. Like, I know the direction I should take. I know what to include, who to include, and the storyline that I should go with. But I think season 1 was a really good learning curve, and it turned out far better than I thought it would.
So someone was asking, I think Asa was asking, what keeps you grounded? I think for everyone who's asking questions, use that question mark thing on Insta. It's much easier for us to find questions. It says, what keeps you grounded?
What keeps me grounded? I think my family, my ancestors, obviously. My family, my ancestors, my spiritual journey. I think all the things that remind me of who I am and where I come from is what keeps me grounded. And that is definitely my family, my closest friends, my spirituality. I think that is what always returns me back to me. And that is always a safe space. My dogs are barking and doing weird things behind me. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, so that's what keeps me grounded. Sorry. Yeah.
So music, when did that journey start? And so tell me about when the journey started. Then you can speak about what you've learned, what you wish you knew that you know now.
Yeah, that one. How the journey started. Obviously, I've always been a music lover. I think the people who know me best have seen me in my element of performing and, you know, wanting people to hear me out when I'm like reciting all kinds of rap songs. I've always been that person. Not even just rap, just all songs. I'm a lyric freak. I'm one of those people that know pretty much every song word for word all the time. That's just how I am. So I think it's something that's always been in me. I just didn't know that it would materialize into something like this. But with regards to that thing that made me want to venture into this space, I think, I think it all started on my my journey with Club 808. I think being in such close contact with music at that level, and, you know, getting to see it on that platform, I think that's where the love grew. And it made it seem so much more possible and not as far-fetched. And but still, even in that element and in that space, I never thought I would take it as far as it is right now. But I think it did want me to tap into, you know, as a moment where I could just express myself as this artist, even if it was just for 5 minutes. You know, I think for me, that time is when I was like, okay, I want to tap into this thing because I can feel it bubbling under. And I did, but it turned out to be where we are now.
And what would you say you've learned from the music industry? What would you say, if I'm watching this, I want to follow your footsteps, or I'm just wanting to see what you've learned? What have you learned that other people can learn from in terms of your journey?
I've learned that, but it's something that I've learned even in my entire career. It's just so crucial to have the right team, because you could literally, I don't know, it's like people will lie to you and they will create this facade to make you believe that they've got you and they've got your back and they want to. But a lot of the times people jump on because you seem like the next great bandwagon for them to further themselves. And that is the issue in our industry altogether, the entertainment industry, not just music, but more so music wise. I think there's a lot of vulnerability. Artists come in and they are passionate, they are packed with talent, and they have so much. And a lot of the vultures in the industry, in the music industry, can see that passion and that fire from afar, and they know how to jump on it, and to that they know how to suck you in. So it's so crucial to understand and to find a proper team that is for you and wants you to grow and to build you. And it's another question would be, how do you find that team? Definitely something I'm still figuring out, but I'm grateful that I've met someone like Bash, who is there for me as a human being, not for Boity, the star. I think that's the most crucial thing. You have to find people who are there for you as a person, because that's all you have left when all of the stuff is stripped away, and you want someone to stand by you regardless of what you can bring to the music industry table. So I think that's been the most important thing, finding a team, because once you have that, you're good. You can pretty much do a lot, because you know that you've got this thing around you that is guarding you, guiding you, and walking with you. So I think that's, for me, that's the most important thing I've learned. And also, don't jump into contracts. Yeah, well, not that I didn't jump into it. I got duped, but fuck, whatever. It is important. Don't just sign anything. Make sure that you have the right people who, be informed. Always make sure that you don't just put your signature. It's very expensive. Don't put your signature just on anything. Be informed. Find the right people. Even if not all lawyers are going to be incredibly expensive. You will find a way. You can find someone who can assist you in even just reading up something for you and advising you. So don't just jump into anything, and don't rush into it. Just enjoy the journey before you want to rush into things that are going to tie you down. Yeah.
And Lebohang is asking, why don't you open your own label? Is that something you're thinking about, or is it too early for now?
We've considered that. But yeah, I think it's also another journey, and it's another avenue that we'll look into in the future. But it's something that Bash and I have discussed, but we'll see how we get into it.
Yes, and then someone just asked there, I forgot their name because it was running up. Who is Bash? Maybe you can just tell them Bash is your manager. Because someone was like, who's Bash?
Bash, yes.
So Bash is Boity's manager.
Bash is my manager, and he's my brother, my homie, and he's literally my ride or die. I've heard of that phrase many times, but I feel like I've finally found a ride or die apart from Khala. I feel like Bash is like my ride or die, and he's just been phenomenal. He's been by my side through thick and thin. And for me, I think he epitomizes what one should look for when they're looking for someone who is there to represent them and to walk with them through the not just the music industry, but the entertainment industry in general. Yeah, because it's got a lot of vultures, this space of ours.
Kosinkosi is asking, when are you going back to acting?
Oh, guys, I don't know. Hey, I have no idea. I don't know. And I've gotten a lot of job offers actually for acting roles, and I don't want to be like selfish and just jump onto anything just because it's there, it's being offered. I want to do something because my soul is aligned, and my spirit says, I'm ready to do this again. But at the moment, I'm really thoroughly engulfed by the music space, and I'm enjoying that, and I'm enjoying just giving my all to that. So that's what I'm enjoying. And when the time comes for me to do an acting gig, I would gladly do it when I feel like it's the right time for me to get back into it. But for now, we're enjoying the music.
Bakai's video is fire.
Thanks.
So tell us about the inspiration behind the video. Like, tell us about what you were going for, and when the video was out, were you like, on point?
So when it was kind of a mutual thing with Blacksmith, where we kind of approached each other and we were like, would you be interested in doing this? And I trust them. They are young creatives who are so far ahead in the game. You know, they see things that are so beyond what is happening right now. And I trusted them with the vision of coming up with an idea for Bakai. And they presented me with a few concepts. And I think this one jumped out at me. It was so me, and at the same time it was me exploring the alter ego of, you know, my music side, because I feel like I've managed to do that so much, and I'm grateful for it. I've been granted the opportunity to tap into my alter ego and get paid to do it. You know, it's so dope. So it's been so cool. And then the video was that. It was like tapping into all those alter egos that I get to express when I'm on stage, you know, and also the you know, talking the alter ego talking back at me in the mirror, that mirror scene, all of you see that concept is so brilliant.
That's really good.
And they did it so well. It was like, you know, when they were shooting it, I was just like, okay, I wonder how this is going to look. And also in the closet, when there's 3 of me in the closet, and
yes, I remember.
So
that's
good.
Brilliant.
It's so good. And when they shot it, I understood what they were trying to go for, but the execution is very important, because you could be thinking one thing, and then when you look at it, you're like, yeah, but what's going on now? And they nailed it so well. And they're fearless in terms of innovation, you know, coming up with cool ideas and just going with it. So I'm definitely going to be working a lot with them, because I trust them, and I feel like the video is so brilliant, and you can watch it over and over again and find new parts that you had missed when you watched it the first time. See, so that's the best part for me with a music video. It's watching a music video and seeing a new part every time you watch it. So it's very exciting.
So a few days ago on Twitter, I haven't checked recently today. You were talking about there is like a collab that's coming. Have you announced who it is yet? Or are people just still waiting?
You know that those tweets were from a little moment of too much wine. I don't know why I was doing that. But I put out a little competition, and it was so cool, because this guy, he guessed it in like 2 minutes, literally. I was like, okay, I'm going to give 20 gigabytes for whoever guesses this correctly. And I really thought it was going to take time, because people were guessing the normal, like not normal, but like the obvious. They're like, oh, is it Casper? Is it AKA? Is it whoever? And this guy was like Moonchild. I was like, how did you guess that? In like 2, that is wild. So it was really cool. It is Moonchild, and it's, the song is to die for. It's so good. It's like every time I listen to it, I'm always like texting Bash, and I'm like, oh my God, this is so amazing. And I can't wait for people to hear it. Yeah.
Is it? When is it coming out? People are asking, when is your album coming out? Do you have any idea of when?
You know what? I will say that I know every time I was asked the question, when is your album coming out? I'd be like, oh my God, relax. It's too much. That's too early. But like now, I'm so grateful that I'm at a place where I'm ready to fully dive into a full-on project, a full-on body of work. But now with COVID-19, it's so hard to commit to anything. Sana. It's so hard to commit to anything. Sorry, and to
It's okay.
To actually say, okay, this is what we're doing, and we're sticking to it, because a lot of things can change, a lot of things can happen during this time with the pandemic. So it's hard to commit to anything. But I would be very happy to have a full body of work out maybe by November, you know, when things probably slightly go back to normal. But for me to have that body of work in November, I would have to start working now. But we are indoors, and I don't have a studio and all of that stuff. So it's like, when do you actually get time? But I mean, it's not impossible for it to happen this year. But I would still like to do it the traditional way of maybe having an EP out first, you know, and then move into album mode. So yeah, we'll see.
Cool. Boity Thulo Foundation. Tell us about that. Tell us about your foundation. I know it's, when did it start? I know your page started last week around your birthday, or just after your birthday. But when was the idea founded, and what is it about?
Obviously, so a foundation, when you have to I don't know if well, an MPO, when you have to register one, it doesn't happen overnight. It's not like just there. So it's obviously something I had worked on probably a couple of months ago. But you know, to come out with it and formalize it and tell people about it, I think, yeah, I just felt like, you know what, I've been doing so much of trying to give back where I can with what I have, that I felt like it was the right time for me to utilize this platform and formalize it and definitely get bigger results in terms of giving back and changing people's lives and, you know, transforming people's lives for the better. So I just felt like me sharing the fact that I have this foundation also put responsibility and pressure on me to actually utilize it. And instead of just saying, okay, I'm going to give 10 people electricity, rather utilize the foundation to make a bigger impact, you know, and formalize this thing that I've been doing for a while now and make it more impactful. So I think that's the idea behind, you know, the foundation.
So in terms of, so you've given away a lot of things, money. I think earlier at the beginning of the year, you trended for giving away money. I remember one guy you sent money, he had jeans for a new job and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What triggers that for you? What triggers that for you? And especially as a personality, you know, a lot of personalities do other things that are impactful in their own way, but you like reach out right straight at you and you give it straight to the person. What triggers that for you?
It's crazy because trigger is the right word, because I feel like there is something internal and deeper than just okay, someone asked for help, let's do it. I think it could definitely be a spiritually linked thing, because there I don't know, there's something very fulfilling, you know. I feel like I come to life when that transaction takes place. I don't know, it's a bad word, but I think the assisting, it's so much deeper. It's like someone's Josie comes to my Josie and says, okay, help this person now, you know. And then on the exterior it seems like, okay, Boity help this person, but for me it feels a little bit deeper than just it being like, okay, here, get some jeans. I think there's something so much more deeper and more fulfilling. The more I do it, the more I feel good. And I think it's one of the few things that makes me feel purposeful, makes me feel like I have a purpose. That's the only way to explain it, I guess. Yeah.
And the guy that you spoke about on your show, are you guys still in contact? Remember the guy that you said you bought him phones, you bought him, what's happening there?
Yeah, it's unfortunate because especially during this time, I can only imagine where he is and what's happening to him. Yeah, super emo, weird. But yeah, I haven't been in contact with him for a while now. And obviously I don't have a number or an address or anything. And it's even worse now because I can't see him, because they're not allowed to be standing at the corners. Well, nor am I allowed to travel to even get to see if he's there. So hopefully he's okay. Yeah.
And for people who are watching, where can they get a hold of your foundation? What are the handles? Where can we find the foundation, an email address or a website?
Oh God, I have to do all that stuff. Hectic. I haven't even gotten there yet. That is so intense. But for me, the first steps are obviously social media, because I felt like that would be a good form of communication, especially during this time. So I have the foundations on social media. On Instagram, it's Boity Thulo Foundation. And then on Twitter, it's Boity Foundation, because it's too many characters. So it's Boity Foundation on Twitter and Boity Thulo Foundation on Instagram. So I guess it would be good for people to follow those handles, because obviously when things start happening, etc., I will be using those platforms to communicate and also to share more information about the platform and the foundation and what is happening, etc. So yeah.
Cool. So you've been in the public eye for quite a while. You've got millions of followers, right?
I do.
What is what is it like? So for people who don't know what it is like to be a personality, a celebrity, what is that life really like? What do you like the most about it, and what are you not so excited about it?
What I like most is obviously all this love that you get to experience from strangers, from people. You literally get to experience unconditional love from people that you've never met, and not a lot of people will ever be able to experience something like that on such a massive scale, you know. So it's incredible, and it's something that you can't. It's inexplicable almost, you know, because you can't really put your finger on what it is that people are drawn to. You're just grateful that you get to experience it. Yeah, and also there's like being a personality, there's cool perks, you know. You get to experience really amazing things, like the events we get to go to, the places we get to be in, the kind of people we get to meet. It's incredible. I wouldn't change it for anything, to be honest. Obviously then there's the negatives of, just as much as you have good people who love you and etc., people also tend to treat you like you have no heart, no mind, no feelings. And yeah, people are ruthless, you know. And when there is a moment where it feels like you're being torn down, you are definitely going to feel the wrath of it, you know. And I've felt all of it, you know, the good, the bad, the very good, the very bad. So yeah, there's those things. And it's also the same way it's inexplicable to explain how this love that you receive from so many people, you also cannot fathom what it's like to have a lot of people at one go throwing a lot of negativity at you. And it's something that you don't wish on your worst enemy, because it's I don't think people get it, as even the ones who are giving it. I don't think they understand the level of how bad it can get. So yeah, it's good and bad, but more so, definitely more good than bad, depending on how you look at things.
So for you, because I've been following your career for quite a while, and what I've seen, this is personally, so I don't know if you agree. What I've seen is that over time you have matured and stopped like talking back to people, or like if people come for you, you stop doing that. When did that start, and how did you manage to go like, okay, you know what, I'm cool, I'm gonna leave you wild?
Yeah, it's been a it's been a journey getting to that part, but I think a lot of it, again, it goes back to my spiritual maturity. The more mature I've become in spirit and groundedness, and just, you know, me and taking care of me, I think I have learned to be able to detach from people's ideas of me and thoughts of me, you know. And also you learn that whatever you give your attention, you know, it grows. And I think for me, that's how I looked at social media. I was like, the moment you respond to someone, then you have tapped into that negative space that they were trying to create, you know, because it's not yours until you respond to it. You know, it's got nothing to do with you until you give it some form of attention. So I feel like that's how I've just looked through everything for all these years. It's a matter of, if I don't give it any attention, it doesn't belong to me anymore, you know. And it's only when someone is like, you this, you that, blah blah, only when you're like, why are you saying that to me, then you've given it life. Whereas it could have just remained dormant. It could have just been another moment that just passed on. Yes, you're going to see it, and you can deal with it on your own, in your own space, without giving it any more energy. But I think once you tap into it and give it more energy, then you're to blame, as opposed to the other person, because it could have just stayed with them. So that's how I look at it, and that's how I deal with all the negativity in general. It's not mine until I tap into it and give it any form of life. You know, even if it's 1,000 tweets, I think just interacting with anything just gives it. I think I open a portal in myself to allow it in the moment I respond to it. So that's how I deal with it.
I get you. And what did you say are some of the misconceptions about you? Or maybe a misconception about you that you've seen over the years that actually there's a misconception?
Ooh, I think with the show, I'm glad that it's maybe trickled down and it's not as bad as it used to be. But I think for a long time I was seen as this young girl, you know, deer and the headlights, not sure of who she is, no backbone. Really sorry. No backbone, and just sweet, but also very what's the word? Skoa. Very I forgot what the word is. But very, you're not really sure what is going on. You're just there, you know.
Confused, maybe, like, yeah.
Yeah, very oblivious and whatever, you know. So I think a lot of people had that view of me, just a pretty girl who doesn't really know what's happening. She's got no backbone, and she's got no backbone, and she's just all over the place. Yeah, and also I think people assumed that it was easy to kind of take advantage of me emotionally, or just like, you know, I don't know, whatever. But I've always been a far stronger character than what people actually saw. And I think maybe it's also because I didn't really utilize any platforms to showcase that side of me. So it's understandable. But yeah.
And you and your mom have a beautiful relationship. Like I think all of us love her, the people who watch the show. What do you think makes your relationship work?
I think because it's been like this for many years. It wasn't a matter of now that we're grown up, we're gonna start being like friendly and getting to know each other. I think because we've always been so open and honest and kind, and also because my mom and my grandparents have always just given me the opportunity to completely be myself and have never made me feel like I should be afraid to be honest. I think that's what created a very good foundation and platform for us to actually be human towards each other, and which is way above that respect of mother-daughter. I think it's a deeper fundamental respect of human to human, and I think that's it's deeper than just, okay, I respect you because you're my mom. You know, I think because of the respect that they've shown me and the fact that they've trusted me so much, you know, they always make me feel like they trust me and they trust my decisions. I think it's made it easier for us to have the relationship that we do, and from a young age as well.
And people are asking, are you going to have a collab with Aries? A lot of people are like, Aries featuring Boity or Boity featuring Aries. People have been asking. I mean, obviously, I can't see their names now, but there are a lot of people who are asking Aries. Is that something you're looking at? And what other collabs would you like to have? Or
I mean, I'm open to pretty much working with anyone in the industry, you know, especially the younger generation, I guess. I think they're cool and they've got really powerful, strong ideas in terms of, you know, music. And, you know, I would love to work with Aries. I think he's fantastic. I've known him for years now, you know, so yeah, it would be fantastic. And in terms of other people that I would like to work with, I think, like I said, I'm open to working with pretty much anyone, whether it's in any genre, by the way, you know, not just hip hop. I think it would be fun for me to not necessarily completely box myself into the idea of staying hip hop and rap. I think it's cool for me to venture out into a broader space of music without losing where it all started. Yeah.
And in terms of who inspires you, I do know you speak about there's Oprah, there's Beyonce. Who else inspires you? Your grandma, you say?
Yes. I'm definitely inspired by the strong women in my life, because I am, because they are. My grandmother, my mom. Yes, Beyonce. God, Beyonce is just her work ethic is retarded. If I could just even like just 2% of that, I think I'd be so far gone. She's incredible. And I think I definitely respect and adore her and love her even more now that I'm in this music space. I think I get it. And so when I see how far she pushes, it I don't know, I see her in a different light now that I'm in the music space. Yeah, I'm inspired by the strong women in my life, and any other strong woman, because that's all I want to be, and that's all I want to inspire people to be. Well, not people, women, young girls. I want them to be strong and to just trust in who they are and not question themselves and not question who they should be, to enjoy themselves, to enjoy what they're becoming, to enjoy who they think they should be, and not doubt their journeys. Yeah.
So 3 things you're definitely going to do the moment we get back to normal. What are the 3 things you're waiting to do? Like the moment they say it's level 1, what are the 3 things you're going to do?
Yeah, we're definitely waiting for level 1, even 0, because we don't want to take risks. But definitely seeing my friends, that's going to be really incredible. Actually getting to interact and be with them and sit and just enjoy ourselves outside of these house parties on the phone. I think that for me is going to be really amazing, because I think we're going to appreciate all these moments that we've taken for granted. We're looking back at these parties and moments that we've had, and we're just like, wow, it was so much more fun than we thought it was, because now look at us. I think that, and also what else? But traveling, we're not going to see that for a very long time, that's for sure, because that's something I'm looking forward to.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to be on a plane. I know it sounds weird, but I can't wait to be sitting in a plane again, going somewhere. That's going to be really cool. And third thing, I think just moving fearlessly, because again, that's another thing we took for granted. Moving, touching, hugging, speaking with each, like doing everything that we've done has been turned into a bottle of fear. Everything that we've done so casually, so normally, has now just turned into a very weird thing. Like you see people on TV from like old episodes or whatever, and they're hugging and they're talking normally and they're interacting at a restaurant, something as small as just being at a restaurant or a takeaway spot. You see that and you're like, wow, I can't believe I took something that seemed so mundane. We took it for granted, because now it's all we want. We want to do those mundane things that were second nature. So yeah, I can't wait to do those things, but normally, without thinking, oh, you're too close, or oh, don't cough here, or whatever. I can't wait for that.
3 of your favorite destinations?
Sure. Just the whole of Italy was wild. Italy was incredible. So it's gut-wrenching what has happened to them now, which is crazy, with the virus. But for me, those just Rome, Venice, Milan, that was one of my favorite trips ever. Where else? I really, 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 really love Zanzibar, honestly. It's so dope, and it's so close by, and it's so beautiful, and it looks picturesque. It looks like something, whatever you're going to find, whether it's Amalfi Coast or Maldives, you can definitely find something as picturesque in Zanzibar, which is fantastic. And it's, it's Africa, which is amazing. And another one that I really enjoyed was Monaco, obviously. Yeah, that's the first time I saw my now dream car, the Urus. I can't wait. Yeah.
Cool. So you're also a businesswoman who's had a lot of successful either business collaborations, or your own body spray. What would you say if a business person is watching right now, another businesswoman is watching? What would you say are like maybe 3 tips you'd give to a business person that you've learned yourself?
I think again, team,
Mm-hmm.
the right team.
Mm-hmm.
That's always just so
Mm-hmm.
important. Just the people that you're going to be keeping
Mm-hmm.
around you will either bring you down or take you to greater heights. I think
Mm-hmm.
the second thing is don't be afraid to ask for help in any form, whether it's financial help, whether it's any kind of help. Don't be afraid to ask for it, you know. And I think the third thing is stick to your guns. If you know that this is what you want and what you're passionate about, and you've seen the vision, you know, for you to see that vision, it means that it exists. It might not be today, might not be next week, but the fact that the vision is in you, it means that it exists somewhere in the future. So you have to hold on to that because you didn't see it for nothing. You know, it wasn't a mistake. So if you have a vision, stick to it and do not be deterred by how long it takes, because nothing was built. Rome wasn't built in a day, and nothing incredibly successful happens overnight. So don't be deterred by the time it takes, and also don't be put under pressure by batu batlaring and I haven't I haven't made a success of it and it's been so long. It's not anyone else's vision, it's yours. So whether it happens now or 20 years from now, it doesn't matter. It's up to you to hold on to it for it to be fulfilled, but don't let go of it for silly reasons like what people are going to say or the fact that it doesn't make sense, etc. Just hold on to it, and those are the 3 tips I would give.
Cool. And a question for someone here: who is your style inspiration? It says you're very stylish and they love your style. Who inspires your style?
I can't believe I'm at a point where people think I'm stylish. Wow, that took time for me to believe that I'm stylish. Because I never used to actually care about.
Do you believe you're stylish now?
I mean, I feel like I'm getting somewhere. You know, I feel like I'm starting to enjoy looking nice, and I mean, I enjoy putting in the effort to look a certain way. So I'm grateful that at least I crossed that bridge, because it took time. I had to be pushed and shoved and to actually care about my look and my image, and to stop being in the worst dressed list. I used to live there. My style icon, I think for me personally, because also I'm not like a fashion person, I think someone who truly inspires how I would like to look and how I would like to look like I feel is Rihanna. I think she is so effortless and so eclectic as well. She tries everything, but she owns everything she wears, and for me, I think that's far more important than wearing the latest item on the from the world's runway. I think she's just incredible in making anything she wears look like she is enjoying being in it. So for me, she's my style icon because of that. She makes everything look effortless and fun and comfortable and sexy, and she owns it. She makes it hers. So I think she's my style icon for that reason.
I get you. And Leroy Tonkosi is asking, please ask Boity why usually most celebrities only date each other. Would she ever consider dating a normal guy who's not a celebrity?
Oh God, guys, please. We don't only date celebrities. I don't only date celebrities, that's for sure. Like the last time I dated a celebrity was years ago. I think maybe if it were true that celebrities only date celebrities, etc., it would probably be that we understand, I guess, the space that we work in, which is not easy for someone who works in a different field to understand. Our there's no balance, there's no certain set of way in which we live and work and do things. So it would be very difficult a lot of times for someone from outside of the entertainment industry to understand our
Yeah.
life and our livelihood and how we do things. So that could be one of the reasons why celebs prefer dating a celebrity. You don't have to explain your world to another person. And yeah, I think it's just a matter of, it's comfortable, you know, and you might be with someone who gets it. But personally, I don't think celebs only date celebs. It's I don't personally. I don't. And in terms of considering dating a normal person, I mean, we're also normal. We just have different jobs.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
Yeah, but matter of fact, I prefer dating outside of my workspace. Let me rather call it that. It's like the same way maybe a banker doesn't want to date a banker. It's the same way that I prefer not dating someone who is in my work life. You know, I want to be able to talk about my space and my world and let it be interesting to someone else, and have them tell me about their life and their world and what happened to them at work, and have it be interesting to me, as opposed to us both talking about, oh, did you see that blog or something? I don't know, or I don't know. It's like all of us working in one office, you know. I feel like for me it's more fun dating someone outside of the entertainment space, because it's just more interesting, and it does also, again, make you feel more normal. And that for me is what I strive for all the time, to always be brought back to normal, because you don't want to get sucked into this our little world. Yeah.
So we're literally left with 2 minutes. So so I have 2 questions. The first one is, what's your dream for yourself?
My dream right now
for yourself.
Obviously we have different, for me personally, I have different dreams all the time. Like like after I fulfilled something, we move on to another thing. So my dream now, as opposed to what might have been my dream 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I think for me now, it's while I'm working towards building this empire of mine, whatever it is, and whatever is going to come out of me being me, I want to build it for a family. I want to leave it behind for my own family. So I think for me now is that family materializing. I think for me that's the dream now. It's children, family, life partner. I think for me that's now the most exciting thing that I'm looking forward to receiving in my life, you know, and then from there we'll see what the next dream is. But I think for me that's that's the one thing that I'm yearning for the most.
And your last word to the thousands of people who came to watch us, who we want to get your Glamour issue, what's the last word you'd like to say to them?
Last word, please go and get yourselves a copy, please, and post it on your Insta stories. And thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the support. Thank you for everything. It's been such a positive ride throughout these, past 2 years. It's just been so positive and so bright and so light. And it's mainly because of the followers and the support. And I'm eternally grateful for all of you guys. And I hope we keep the bond going and growing. And I hope everyone continues to grow with me and to walk this journey with me, because it's my followers who make it so worthwhile. And I'm grateful. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Cool. Boity, thank you so much. And the magazine is also available digitally. So the link is in this bio. Link is in Boity's bio as well. So you can read more. She speaks about a spiritual journey.
Yes.
You speak about music. You speak about literally everything as well. So please do get a copy. Boity, thank you for your time.
Thank you. This was awesome.
Totally
the network was like proper. Thank God. I'm grateful.
Perfect.
Thank you so much.
Good seeing you again.
I know.
Hopefully we'll be able to hug at some point.
Ish, bruh. Hopefully. God's grace. We'll be fine. We're good.
We need to keep praying.
Yeah. We need to keep putting out positive energy, and it will all be fine eventually.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you. Bye-bye. And thank you, everybody.